Hello everybody, my name is the Deuteron Doctor, and today we're going to be talking about how to play Heavy Splatling. Heavy Splatling is a lot like Hydra Splatling in the fact that it's a backline. It's not as far as a backline as Hydra is, but it's definitely a backline. You can't trick me on that one. Heavy Splatling, obviously, you want to be standing in open positions. You want to try to stay away from corners where people can flank you or sneak up on you really easily, like rollers or brushes or blasters tend to do. You're going to want to secure positions for your team. Your team will push in, you will follow them and try to support them on the push. But once you're there, you're going to want to either continue helping your teammates push, or you're going to want to stay there and become an anchor for your team. Generally, the best way to aim with a Splatling is to just follow movements. But if we're talking about how to actually aim in a non-beginner sense, try to predict where your enemy is going to go. Because if you predict where your enemy is going to go, then you're just going to kill them if you do it right. Your kit for the Heavy Splatling is going to be Sprinkler and Wave Breaker. As a Brella player, I know a lot about Sprinkler. Sprinkler, you could place up in high, hard-to-reach areas so that it turfs ink while you are busy. The best way to use Sprinkler is to either control a select point on the map by placing your Sprinkler in a hard-to-reach position, in mid or what have you, or it's to ink turf in your spawn if nobody else does while you are playing. Every time you die, you could place a Sprinkler on the ground and it'll cover a pretty wide circular area and it'll charge your special while you're busy. Other than that, Sprinkler is good at killing if and only if you meet the requirement of when a person is super jumping. If you place it directly in the center of a super jump circle and Splatling after, the second they land, they're either going to die from the Sprinkler or they're going to die from you. The only exception to this is people that have drop roller or dualies, obviously. Maybe a Brella, but I highly doubt it because of the Sprinkler covering that option. Your special is Wave Breaker. Wave Breaker is amazing in Splatoon 3 right now. It'll help your teammates look at the positions of people. It will secure a very large area unless they're jumping out of their ink, in which case they will again be spotted, whether or not they actually run into the wave breakers. Very good for anchoring. Very good for tower control, very good for Rainmaker, very good for Clam Blitz. It's good for everything, really. It's even great for Salmon Run. Wavebreaker is an amazing top tier special, easy. The only thing I could say that really draws back from the Heavy Splatling right now is the fact that there's a lot of weapons that are super beneficial for range, like Jet Squelcher and Range Blaster, or the heavier Splatlings, maybe Chargers as well as Dualies. They can pretty much outwit most Heavy Splatlings from what I've seen so far. But that doesn't mean that it's a bad weapon right now. It just means that nobody has unlocked the potential of it. Generally, your best maps are going to be ones with somewhat straight paths, but not too straight. Hammerhead is okay, but I'm thinking more of Mincemeat Metalworks, Mako Mart, and Undertow Spillway. And that's because they're straight maps, but they're not super straight maps. There's some sort of play to it, especially with the little platform on Mako Mart to the right of your spawn or your enemy's spawn. Great for Hydras, Chargers, Splatlings of any type, really. As long as it's got range, it's going to benefit from that area. Obviously, there's counterplay with short weapons, shooting over the ledge, or even long-range weapons guarding that ledge, but that's besides the point. Generally, Heavy Splatling is a versatile anchor. Not as versatile as Mini, but Mini's not an anchor. It can be used for pushes, it can be used for defense, it can be used for just general support if you really, really need it. It's very versatile, unlike Hydra or E-Leader, which is strictly prohibited to be used in backlines and anchors. The weapons that are bad against this, so the weapons that you're going to have an easier time killing, are going to be things that move slower, like Chargers if they're bad. Only if they're bad. Splatlings if they're bad. Sloshers are pretty easy, especially the ones that don't have a lot of range. Dualies are going to be easy as long as they don't dodge out of your sight. The Undercover Brella is going to be pretty easy. The Stringers are going to be pretty easy to deal with. The Splatanas will be pretty easy to deal with. Generally, most things are going to be pretty easy for you to deal with, at least the ones that move slow. Things like Luna Blaster, as long as you watch out for their special, which is Zipcaster. Arrow Spray might be a little little bit easy. Splash-o-matic might be easy. It just depends on what your play style is with the Splatling, what you intend to bring to your team with the Splatling, how you use your kit, etc, etc. The best gear with this weapon is probably going to be Ink Saver main, Ink Recovery up, Swim Speed up, only because it's, I think, a slightly heavy weapon, so it might affect your swim speed a tiny bit. Ninja Squid doesn't really help this one at all, but Drop Roller definitely could help, as well as Hiding Super Jump, whatever that's called. Respawn Punisher might also help, especially if you're good at getting kills with the weapon without dying. If you're good at it, why not use it? It might punish you more if you die than your enemies, but if you can get enough kills, it'll make much more of an impact on your enemies than you. The weapons you should watch out and try to not take fights with are brushes, any burst fire weapon, because they really can destroy you. Rollers, especially Dynamo and Flanger right now. Chargers like the classic Squiffer, the Gootuber, the Bamboozler, Splash-o-matic, anything that has a general mid to long range, especially the Jet Squelcher. Other than that, I can't think of much else to talk about how to play the heavy Splatling. I'm the Dude Around Doctor, and I will see you later. Bye!